And now, which is super exciting, I got my t-shirt on for it specifically today.
Oh.
We finally get to talk a little bit about one of our favorite franchises, Star Wars.
I like that Wookiee.
I still can't get that button. However, I can't search for that button, but love that phrase by Mott's. But anyway, we're talking about the first story arc now that it has concluded in Season 7, the final season of Clone Wars.
Sad.
Very sad. But also exhilarating at the same time. All right, so we're going to recap, discuss, and go through pretty much each episode, hit all the major plot points of what happened, and discuss what we think.
Spoiler alert. From here on out, spoilers for everything Star Wars related, not just Clone Wars. Anything Star Wars might spill out of our mouths. And anything Westworld Season 1, 2, and 3.
Correct.
Spoilers galore.
The spoiler-free section is over. Proceed at your own risk. I don't know what accent that was.
Okay.
All right. So let's run through it. The first story arc is revolving around the Bad Batch, aka Clone Force 99. We briefly discussed a few weeks back, probably when it premiered, about episode 1, but we're going to run through it again. Episode 1, titled The Bad Batch, is mainly an introduction to the Bad Batch and primarily an action-packed droid massacre episode. The Bad Batch, or Clone Force 99, are described as defective clones with desirable mutations. So they are the outcasts of the clone army. And in that group is Crosshair, and they're named after their specific mutations or talents. You might as well describe
you
them
can kind
as.
of figure out
It's like a buff. It's
what
like
their talents are by their name.
Crosshair, brilliant eyesight. He's the sniper of the group. Wrecker, he's the brute with just unbelievable strength. Tech, the big brain clone with enhanced intelligence. And Hunter, the leader with enhanced sensory abilities. I love them. You know, the design behind them, their skills, their talents. It's super awesome.
Yeah.
So episode 1, the Bad Batch was called upon by the Republic to aid in the Battle of Anaxis that also takes place during this whole arc. In the first episode, they're tasked with infiltrating a cyber center outpost held by Admiral Trench, Josette's favorite.
God, he's so annoying. I hate
just
his
that clicking.
The clicking. Oh, I can't stand it. When I see him come on screen, I'm like, oh.
So they're heading to this outpost to intercept an algorithm that will help aid the Republic effort versus the Separatists. Now, Rex is familiarized with these algorithms, believing that Echo may still be alive, who was presumed dead back in Season 3. So Rek and Tex discover that a live signal from Skako Minor that read CT-1409, which was Clone Trooper Echo's number.
Ooh.
We talked about that one briefly already a couple weeks ago, but it's a good introduction, bringing us back into the series and showing us that ground level perspective of the war. We don't really see any Jedi in this one.
Yeah.
Now, episode 2, titled A Distant Echo, is about finding Echo and that signal, because Rex still believes he is alive, and the opening epigraph reads, "The search for truth begins with belief." Jedi are coming back. Master Obi-Wan arrives as Rex is, I love this part, concealing a private conversation between Anakin over the phone with Padme.
I love this part.
Love that part.
This was something I wrote down that I really liked about this episode. First of all, I love that it shows Anakin and Padme. So we hadn't really...
Padme's on and off throughout the whole...
She's on and off. I don't think we had seen her for a while. I don't think she was in season 6. I don't think she was hardly in that last story arc. So we hadn't seen her in a while. And I don't know, it's always just good to see Anakin and Padme interact with each other because you want their love story to be believable.
Right, and it totally is in Clone Wars.
It is in Clone
Not when, I hate this sand, like in the fucking prequels.
It's awful.
Just the worst. He has no game.
I mean,
Hayden Christensen has no game as Anakin Skywalker. What are you doing, Natalie?
Padme's, death or potential death is the cause of what has forced Anakin to go to the dark side.
Right, and that's why.
So, yeah, we want it to be believable.
That's why the whole show is amazing.
Yeah, so I'm
going to be bawling like a baby during Order 66 of this.
Yeah, because now we're attached to the clones too.
Yes, like Rex. Oh man, you can't.
I know.
Don't do it.
But anyway, I just really loved that part.
I love that scene, and I love how Rex is guarding the door and tries to sell Obi-Wan on some bullshit about them cleaning armor. Yeah. And as Anakin comes out, Obi-Wan, you can't pull a fast one on the goat.
You can't.
He says, I hope you at least told Padme I said hello. Or what would have been better if he said, hello there.
General
Kenobi. All right. So now the squad is together. Anakin, Rex, and the Bad Batch journey to Skako Minor. This planet is home to these gargoyle-like creatures called Kiridax and the indigenous people who populate it, known as the Politex, who also worship these gargoyle-like flying beasts. Now, in typical Clone Wars fashion, Anakin is snatched up by one of these creatures, and it quickly turns into a rescue mission. So we get to see the Bad Batch pull their unique talents together to free him before they inevitably carry on with the mission into the city of Perkol, I believe it's pronounced.
Yeah.
And after shredding through some more droids, I mean, these first 4 episodes are very, very action heavy. They find what they are looking for, which is a disfigured, just totally mutilated Echo, who is still alive and appears somewhat coherent at the time because he remembers Rex immediately.
Right. He's in like a stasis chamber.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were using him. I mean, he had all these holes in his head and his back. They were using him to power something.
Mm-hmm. And so this is Perkol, or however you say it, is the headquarters for the Techno Union.
Yes.
Which is supposed to be neutral in this war.
Right.
They've been supplying the Separatists and the Republic with weapons, but Wat Tambor runs the Union and has clearly sided with the Separatists.
Correct. And that comes into play in episode 3. Because episode 3, titled On the Wings of Kiridax, another action-packed episode, like I said, where Anakin, Rex, and the Bad Batch fight through an army of droids to extract Echo. Now they got to make their way back out from Wat Tamor's vile Techno Union, like you just mentioned. And one thing I wanted to talk about during the sequence that gets them out is, I believe, this battle contains a new type of droid. And that is new to the franchise. I don't think we've seen it anywhere before.
I don't think we have.
Confirmed. And it's this spherical orb-like death droid called a Decimator. And I bring this up.
Oh, I thought there's another type of droid. There's a couple other droids.
Oh, wait, there is too. Okay. But the one I want to talk about is the Decimator. Because when I was looking up, the fandom, the wiki, it's interesting, the origin of it, because the weapon was actually first manufactured by the Wookiees for the Republic in the beginning of the Clone Wars, but was obviously intercepted and stolen by the Separatist droid army. So I just thought that was interesting where it came from. It was actually supposed to be used as a resource for the Republic, but over the clones, and inevitably it winds up being on the other side. As they're making their escape, like all great escape plans in Star Wars, they get cornered and eventually get out of the city via the ventilation shaft.
I was going to say, you better say something about the ventilation shaft.
The gun in the ventilation shaft. Nothing can get through our shields.
If you need a way out in Star Wars, just get in the ventilation shaft.
Exactly. Always. Nobody, I'm like, as I was watching that episode too, I'm like, why aren't there traps in these things to gas people out? Everyone always escapes in the ventilation shafts.
I know.
Always. We see the young ones get smoked out of the ship in the ventilation shafts back in season 5.
Probably.
Maybe beginning I think it was 5. So those, the collectors or whatever,
Pirates.
the pirates,
Yeah.
they're smart, but because they have devices on hand to smoke them out.
I know.
But why are they not built into these cities and bases and ships? It's just like, come on now. I mean, you've seen a Star Wars movie or a show? Everyone goes in the ventilation shafts. It's pretty cool because, Wrecker tosses them up there, showing off his brute strength. But then Anakin jumps up and pulls him up so that they can all escape. And they summon the Kiridax to fly by so that they can jump onto the back of them. And it's just, mayhem the rest of this episode. And this is the other droids you mentioned.
Yeah.
They think that they're getting away from the droids, but now all of a sudden these mechanical wings pop out. They're the normal battle droids we're used to seeing, but now all of a sudden...
Well, they're not. They're a little different.
Yeah.
They look similar to the Roger droids.
Yeah.
But instead of... Because the Roger droids hold a gun, and these have some kind of gun attached to their head.
Right.
Yeah, so they're a little bit different.
Well,
now we see that they're very different because they can fly.
What I was getting to is they fly.
Yeah.
They just pull these wings out of their ass and start chasing after the boys, the Bad Batch, Anakin, and Rex. And they are chased all the way to a village of the Poltex, who obviously are angry with the Republic and the Jedi because they brought the war to their front doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, they were supposed to be neutral. They didn't want to be a part of this. But then Rex gives his cliche war general speech to quickly convince them to fight for them by displaying what they have done to Echo.
Yeah.
Basically saying, does this look like a neutral side to you?
Yeah.
They are clearly with the Separatists. If you don't help us now, you might as well subject your people to this type of treatment.
Right.
And what choice do they have?
Yeah.
They have to help fight. And that turns out to just be another superb battle scene. Watching
we see another type of droid, the hot air balloon looking ones.
Yes, another type of
they fly. They look like hot air balloons and they're flying in the air, but they have 3 legs. And they also have 3 big cannons on them too that rotate. I don't think we'd ever seen those before either.
Not in Star Wars. They remind me of something else that I can't just put my finger on right now off the top of my head. But yeah, that was pretty cool just to see, Anakin showing off.
They remind me of the horror toys that Sid made in Star Wars.
Yes. Yes.
Remember the one that has the legs? Yeah, I mean, they turned out to be nice
they put
toys.
The head
but
on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, so Anakin's got to show off, he's taking that one by himself, and then the clones realize what he's doing to disable them, so they start doing it in their own unique way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm loving every piece of content from the Bad Batch. They're just totally killing it in their battle scenes, their tactics. Super cool and fun to watch. The episode they inevitably win the fight, protecting the Poltec village. And the episode concludes with Echo telling Rex, "Thanks for coming after me," in which Rex replies, "That's what brothers do." And this is huge because it's sticking with that common theme of, the humanization of the clones, the personalities and relationships they build, which is another huge bonus of this show altogether.
Yeah.
Just giving them real character. But then Echo says, "Just like old times," but has this weird little conniving smirk to it when he says it.
Mm-hmm.
And as viewers, obviously we're supposed to be taking it as, is this still Echo or is he corrupted now?
Right.
Is he working for the Separatists or the Republic? When
you get a prisoner of war, you're like, okay, what torture have they been through? Are they brainwashed? What's going on in their mind?
And Tech is already saying, I think in the middle of the episode, he's thinking about it too. What if this is a trap? So he's already hesitant about this Echo guy. I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen him. Season 3.
It's been a long time since we've seen him as viewers, but you have to remember there's only 3 3 years between when the Clone Wars start and Order 66.
Yeah.
It's 7 episodes. 7 seasons. So a lot of shit happens in 3 years.
We've
Jesus
seen
Christ.
people flop sides a lot faster in this show altogether, or this franchise altogether. So that's where episode 3 concludes. Episode 4, titled Unfinished Business, picks up right where the last one left off and concludes this story arc. The opening epigraph reads, "Trust placed in another is trust earned." Gotta give to receive, you know? So now that Echo is safe, back with the Republic, we have to return to the Battle of Anaxis with Admiral Trench, where Mace Windu and Obi-Wan still are. So as the battle is taking place, their plan to take down Admiral Trench involves a stealth mission, which greatly upsets Wrecker and myself.
Although a lot of their stealth missions are not very stealth.
They never turn out to be. If Anakin's in it, it's not stealth.
No, it's not.
He's got to show off, make it look fancy, be loud. The mission entails Echo and the Bad Batch boarding Trench's command ship and manipulating the Separatists' next order. Basically, what they're going to do is Echo is going to plug into some control unit and feed Trench the battle strategies and the droid army that is there. But this time, the Jedi will know first. So he's going to manipulate the battle commands.
Right.
But after the way the last episode ended, it's not clear if Echo's Team Republic or Team Separatist. So, like, you're kind of on edge, worried now. Like, he's going to go in and plug in and just give away the position of the Jedi and the Republic, or is he actually going to help them? So, I mean, I didn't know what to believe at the time. I was on edge about it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure either. I mean, any time Clone Wars, you don't have a lot of tense moments because we don't know the fates of a lot of the clones, but we obviously know the fate of Anakin, of Mace Windu, of Obi-Wan. So like a lot of times you're not super nervous because you know they're somehow going to make it out.
Right.
For them anyway. Whoops.
And that's where, like I've been saying, there's a lot of phenomenal action scenes at this point in the season, but to me, this episode, like, just took it away, took the cake with it. I mean, you get to see Mace Windu take down essentially an entire army of battle droids, and he sends a warning to them, like, listen, I am General Mace Windu. I've taken down plenty more. This is your chance to back down or continue. And what does the one droid say? He's just like, attack. It's just like, charge, like, fuck you. So we get, and then Obi-Wan joins them. There's a lot of classic dialogue and one-liners from Obi-Wan and Mace during this fight. Echo and Tech are able to successfully rig the battle plans and trick the droid forces to converge on Kenobi and Mace, where they are massacred from one power surge. But then Admiral Trench arms a bomb, who Mace Windu is off to the races to disarm. But once he gets there, he realizes there's a ray shield and he needs a code to disarm it.
Because Trench wanted total annihilation.
So Echo is retrieving those numbers for him, but then they get to the last digit and Trench is onto them. So he kind of blocks his access, or Echo and the Bat and Tech's access to.
And like kind of shocks Echo.
Right. That's right. He zaps him so he can no longer plug in and read from them. So who's going to go get that last number? Anakin. And this is like this scene, one of my favorites of this whole show, honestly. And so Anakin tests himself with confronting Admiral Trench on the bridge. And finally, what we've been waiting for this season, we kind of see some hardcore Vader foreshadowing.
This is just your favorite because you are so in love with Vader.
My God.
When Vader comes out of Anakin, you're like just sitting there like, whoa.
Yes. When I get like Palpatine scenes, or like, I'm such a Sith. I'm such a Sith. I root for these guys like they're supposed to be the good guys.
Yeah, you do. It's a problem. But
I
anyway.
always use the analogy that I am Barney from How I Met Your Mother with the Karate Kid episode. He's rooting for the villain the whole time in the movie, and it shatters his world when he finds out who the real Karate Kid is. That's me with the Sith. I love them so much more. So he confronts him for the last number in the sequence to disarm the bomb.
Yeah.
And Admiral Trench is almost laughing at him, like, you're a Jedi. What are you going to do? You're not going to hurt me.
Yeah.
You're not going to kill me. So what happened if I don't give you the code is what he's thinking. And you can see Anakin getting angry in the face, just slices off 4 of his 8 arms.
Yeah.
And which he calls in the last number to Mace Windu to disarm the bomb. But then Anakin kills him.
Yeah.
Very not Jedi.
Not from a Jedi.
Not from a Jedi. Dude, I swear I better get the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise in this season.
I don't know if we will.
Just put it like an end credit or like some. Just do it and throw it up on YouTube or something for me. Like, I just need it. I need that scene. It's my favorite scene in Star Wars. One of them.
With his 1,000 evil head turns.
Right. So they have secured an access to Bad Batch, and Echo are glorified for aiding in the victory and are promised medals and all this fancy schmancy shit that the Bad Batch don't care about. So they're about to take off. But where it concludes is you kind of can see this coming. Echo joins them. Rex gives them the okay, like basically says you should. They give him the okay, like you're not like the rest of them. The Bad Batch give Echo the okay is what I'm saying. So he takes off with them.
Yep.
And that is our first story arc wrapped up.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
I'm liking it a lot so far. I read a review that was a little less enthusiastic about it, and it was mainly talking about the last episode and unfinished business. And saying how like the Echo wondering if he was actually working for the Separatists or on the Separatist side was drawn out long enough, or no, they were like, they didn't draw it out long enough. They didn't build the tension long enough. But I think in the defense, I mean, while I was watching it, I wondered. I was like, yeah, I thought they did a good job with it. And like I said before, it would be stupid for them to draw out that focus too much on a situation where we know the majority of the characters are going to make it out alive. Right. Like, I figured even if he was working for the Separatists, obviously Obi-Wan and Mace Windu survived. So
right, like, I don't think, especially with how short these episodes are, I don't think that's the right way to look at it. Like, this isn't a story about the original head honcho clone troopers, so it's not really about Echo. Like, I think the purpose of this arc was, one, to introduce the Bad Batch, who I think are going to have more come into play. Yeah. You know my theory. And to kind of show that glimpse of Anakin turning.
I agree.
And
to show, I think it's important that it showed new droids and new technology, because obviously the Separatists have a kind of a leg up on the technology.
They're way advanced. They're way ahead of the Jedi, light years away. Yeah,
of the Republic. Yeah. So I think this whole arc gave us a lot of information and served a lot of purposes. But like you said, this isn't, I know it's called Clone Wars and it is about the clones, because ultimately they are the reason why the Jedi basically go extinct. Right. But yeah, I think one of the most important things that we saw was Anakin not giving a shit and just killing Trench. Yeah. Exactly. Nobody was there to witness it, so it's like, he like, I don't know what he told everyone else. Like, he had the detonator he gave to Wrecker to
that was awesome. I didn't even mention that,
to blow up the Trench's ships at the end. And so he was like, "This is." What did he say? This is the happiest day of my life, and like was crying.
Yeah, he was tearing up Wrecker because Anakin gave him the detonator to blow up the ships. Yeah. But another thing that I didn't mention of how I love the action in this episode was the competition that went on between Wrecker and Crosshair of like who could kill the most droids. Yeah. That was really cool as they were fighting it out, because it gets to the point where Wrecker's like, fuck the stealth mission. He just starts hammering droids, going nuts. Yeah. And kind of got his chest pumping out like, I'm the best of the Bad Batch. But then totally awesome was Crosshair taking down, I don't even know, 100 droids in a row with one single bullet. Basically runs down a hallway, throwing these
Like mirrors or something.
Mirror
yeah.
magnet, something that bullets can bounce off of. And he's throwing them left, right, left, right, left, right. The droids come in a single file line, like dumbass droids they are, at them down this hallway. Roger, roger. And he fires off one shot that is basically rattling in circles, like off the wall, ceiling, floor, wall, ceiling.
Yeah.
And it just massacres them. So, and then I think Tech turns to Wrecker and says, like, you'll get him one day.
Yeah.
Because Wrecker's just like, oh man, he killed more than me and that was so cool.
Yeah,
but
that
then
was
he gets to blow up the ship.
Yeah, that was a fun scene.
You know how I feel? I'm thinking you feel the same way. And my theory with, back to what that review was saying, I think the Bad Batch is more significant than just this arc. I think they're definitely going to come back before it's over. And my whole thing that I talked about a little bit a few weeks ago is I believe that they will be immune to the commands of Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
And just how perfect is this? Ready? We know the Siege of Mandalore is going to go down, probably the last arc.
Yeah.
We know Ahsoka survives.
Yeah.
Right? How fitting is she to be part of that batch? Like, I am totally just seeing them saving her, rescuing her, getting her out of Mandalore, something. I feel like that is a meet-up clash that needs to happen. Because, like, they don't really care about saving, like, Jedi Order either. So they're totally neutral.
Yeah, I guess.
And I'm hell-bent on that they're going to be immune to Order 66. I mean, if you flip 66 upside down, 99, Clone Force 99.
Right. Well, we know from the Rebels series that Rex and I think a couple other clones do take their chips out before Order 66 happens and survive.
Right.
So are we going to see that? I would assume probably.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm excited. I think this was a good opening story arc. I liked that it focused on the clones and
even
the Bad
after
Batch.
All this time, this franchise is still able to give us new content we don't know about.
Yeah.
New droids, new, factions and stuff. It's the Bad Batch. They're still able to get, because, what I think turns off a lot of people with watching Clone Wars who are super hardcore Star Wars. Well, they're not super hardcore if they don't watch it, but people who are into the movies, is they're like, the prequels suck. I already know what happens. Order 66, then Vader. Like, so they're like turned off because they know the outcome of events.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it's still delivering new content. You're learning so much more.
Oh,
You're really getting emotionally invested in episode to episode. There's still stuff that you haven't seen. I love how they started it. I don't think it was filler.
No, I don't think so either.
Like how some of the other seasons may have started, but especially at this point, we don't have time for that. If we're only getting 3 more arcs.
Right.
But I'm very interested to see where it goes now.
I'm very excited for Ahsoka's return.
Oh, man. Her and Maul are like 2 of my favorite
Maul
characters.
and Ahsoka's
Probably
return.
my 2 favorite in the show. So
yeah,
that's going to be epic.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm upset that it's ending. Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Don't really know. I mean, we have to catch up on Rebels. So that's something else to tune into Star Wars wise. But, I'm personally a big fan of the prequels.
I know you are, and I am not.
But now, watching Clone Wars, I have a million reservations about it. Like, now I agree with the Star Wars population. It just was not done right in comparison with this. There is no comparison to it. I mean, more screen time, you're obviously going to tell a better story. But the things that they chose to hit on, the prequels versus this, is not the same. Incomparable.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Filoni just needs to
be
run
in everything Star Wars.
Lucasfilm.
Anything with Star Wars name on it, he needs to be on.
Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau. Facts.
Just take over Lucasfilm for me, please.
So it's going to be hard for me to watch the deed be done.
Well, yeah, I've always thought
I'm like cringy, nervous.
I mean, I still get very sad when I'm watching Revenge of the Sith. Just even though Anakin's story was not told super well in the prequels, it's still so sad.
Yeah,
Just
I know.
His fall. It's sad. And now watching Clone Wars, getting to know Anakin better.
But doesn't Clone Wars now make you side more with the Sith?
No.
No?
What?
To me, it's more convincing than ever.
Why is that more convincing?
The stuff with Ahsoka, how Anakin talking to Tarkin basically like,
Okay.
listen, the Jedi way.
I thought you were talking about like... Okay. No, I'm not siding with the Sith.
Okay,
but
not siding with world or universe galaxy destruction.
Okay. Yes, okay. I am agreeing that the Jedi Order is a shitty situation.
It sucks.
It's a super shitty setup. Ahsoka kind of got lucky because she had a way out. You kind of don't really have a way out. But because they totally fucked her over.
Right.
I don't trust you guys anymore. They had to kind of just let her go.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, you can't. I always go on this rant about real world. We try so hard to purify our race as humans. It's never going to happen. You're never going to purify everyone. That's kind of what the Jedi believe in. Like, ultimate. There's just no such thing.
No.
You need to be a dick sometimes. Like, you have to.
But like the Siths.
They're over. Palpatine is the extreme.
Well, and this like obviously the Sith, like they want you to focus on like love and anger and all this other stuff, but they also have the rule of 2, which basically just means your apprentice is probably going to kill you one day.
Yeah. Not me. I'd be like Palpatine. Can never die.
Okay.
Unless some totally untrained Jedi named Rey does it. But whatever. I digress.
Yeah, let's not get into that right now.